But now we're talking about West Ham and what's going wrong for David Moyes.
Bowen, who's running through on goal, he shoots and scores and wins the Europa Conference League final for West Ham United.
This is the biggest moment.
The only other club to win a trophy were Man City last year, and they won the treble. Then we lose Declan Rice, and then we're quibbling of going from 6th to 9th. Come on, boys.
As a West Ham fan, what he's brought to us, I've never seen it in my lifetime. I love him, Moyes.
Garnacho at the double, and it's Manchester United 3, West Ham United 0.
Declan Rice has scored on his return to London Stadium. Where does this leave David Moyes? West Ham's biggest ever Premier League home defeat. Finishes here, West Ham 0, Arsenal 6.
Last season, 14th or 13th, something like that. This season, we're slipping down the table.
A couple of weeks' time, you could be 6th.
Really?
Yeah, well,
In a couple of weeks' time, we could be 12th.
Well, that's called football.
The banners are out in the away end, Moyes out, they want the board out, there's fury coming in the East End of London. It's Nottingham Forest 2, West Ham United 0.
If MD thinks for a minute that we aren't hurting, the players aren't hurting, well, they're completely wrong.
West Ham is where it's at. 03717223344. More bad news for the Hammers at the weekend, getting beat 2-0 by Nottingham Forest. Listen, I know it's a bad result. We spoke about it before the weekend, but we did say Forest have got a good home record. West Ham aren't playing particularly good football at the moment.
No.
But here's the thing, right? We've talked about West Ham so many times.
I know, honestly.
Right?
It's
and I get it.
Here's I don't.
Here's my question to West Ham fans, right? Because we've seen it with Spurs, right? And also, I'll throw this out to Spurs fans. I think we should open it rather than just West Ham. Here's my question to Spurs and West Ham fans, right? Spurs fans or Spurs were playing a certain brand of football under Jose and then Antonio Conte, right? And the brand of football was awful, but it was sort of getting results. Jose got them to the League Cup final, etc. They might have won it had they not. We know the story, right? But the style in which they were playing was unattractive. Spurs fans would go into the game, bored out their brains, hated the football, and they hated it, right? That all changes. Ange Postecoglou comes in, plays with a ridiculously high line, only has a plan A, nothing else. They concede, they score, they win games in the last minute.
They enjoy what they're watching.
And here's my question to Spurs. They enjoy what they're watching. Are they still enjoying it? Right? Because, you know, when you go out with a new girlfriend, right? And everything's great because it's a new girlfriend.
Yeah.
But then after a while, all of a sudden you get used to
Don't quite like that.
I don't quite like that. I don't quite, well, we're going at the weekend.
That's irritating.
I don't like your mum and dad. By the way, this has nothing to do with me, right? But do you know what I mean? Everything's rosy in a new relationship. So my first question is with Spurs fans. Is it still as unbelievable as it was the day Ange came in? You're still 5th, right? That's still amazing.
I think they're still loving what they're watching.
But games at home to Wolves, even though I did call Wolves to win, they're the ones you need to win if you're going to get top 4. So there's my question to Spurs fans. To West Ham fans, similar question. You're 9th at the moment in the Premier League. You're in the last stages of Europe. You've just won a European competition. Yeah. Do you give all that up for Ange Ball? Not Ange.
No, they're not giving.
My question is, Benny, do West Ham fans click their fingers, give up top 10 and European football to come out of the London Stadium every week with a smile on their face, irrelevant of the score or where they are in the league?
They're not swapping what they've done. There's no way on the planet. But you look at
they're not swapping. I'm talking about from here on in.
I don't know. I mean, Moyes 16th when he first came in. When was that? 2020, right? 16th. Then he went 6th, 7th, 14th last season, but
he won the conference,
and then 9th. I just don't know where someone else can take them. And I think a lot of it does come down to the style of football. That's what I've always heard from West Ham fans. I think first and foremost, if they got a manager in like a Steve Cooper who played this free-flowing football, I think the West Ham fans, after what they've been seeing with David Moyes, even though it's been successful, because it has been successful, they would absolutely love it. But it's like anything. It gets to a point though where the fans will start to go, okay, right, I'm loving what we're watching, but what's next? Now, if he's playing attractive football but finishing 11th, 12th...
That's my question.
All of a sudden, they'll go, same for us, that. No, we should be aiming higher than this. So I think at first, the initial bump will be like, yeah, I like this. I love the football we're playing. Even though we got beat 4-3, I loved it, though. But it gets to a point where you go, right, okay, where's the substance now? So the style's great. Where's the substance? Where's the top 6 finishes, top 7? Where's the European runs?
But realistically, Bentley, right, I just don't know... It's almost like when West Ham, for argument's sake, fans phone up and say we should be in the top 7. It's almost like they think, this sounds awful, they think you can get 9 teams in the top 7.
No. I know what you mean.
Because they're not the 7th best side.
No.
Right?
But John, it is. I think they understand that they're probably not going to finish in the top 4.
Right.
I'd like to think they're realistic with that. But,
of course they do.
But I think they feel they can still hit the same heights, 6th, 7th, but play better football. And I think if you offered a West Ham fan better football, but they still stayed where they were, 7th, they'd snap your hand off.
I agree with you. I think realistically, 7th is where West Ham should be aiming.
But they want 7th, but better football. I think they're sick and tired of...
Is that too much to ask?
No. I don't think it is. Well, that's all the West Ham fans that I speak to, because I have the same conversation with so many of them.
Yeah.
I think, well, what are you expecting? And we're like, Bentley, we're not expecting much. We just want a better brand of football. We're not expected to be in the top 4. We know where we are. We know our levels, but we just need a better brand of football to get us to 7th.
Okay, so that's one of the things we're talking about West Ham. 03717223344. Nick is a West Ham fan. Hello, Nick.
Evening, boys. How are we doing?
Yeah, good, mate. How are you?
All right, geezer?
Well, yeah, not bad. Dealing with Moyes just about.
when someone phones up in an Eastern accent and says, I'm dealing with Moyes, that sounds a little bit sinister. Can't say that. We can't say that.
Yeah, it's his attitude, boys. That the football, I mean, is awful. It has been for 2 years, but the fact that he's turning on the fans now, I think it's the beginning of the end. To be honest, his comments at the weekend about I'm the only manager that's ever won. I mean, very revisionist from him.
Oh, sorry, Nick, sorry, man, I missed that. Say that again.
What word?
Revisionist.
Revisionist.
From Moyes.
Yeah.
We finished 7th under Slaven Bilic a few years ago. Get that? Moyes first come in, we were dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. COVID saved him. He would have got a sack if it weren't for COVID. He was all right when he come back, and he's done a decent job for a couple of years. But he thinks he's the only West Ham manager that's ever won a game. And he harks back to the European trophy. We had Rice and Paqueta in midfield. Bentley would have won that as manager. You know what I mean? It weren't a difficult achievement. You know, we was the best team in that competition by miles.
Nick, let me ask you a question quickly, because you said about Slaven Bilic. Was that the team with Payet and them boys in it?
Yeah, exactly. And it was a much worse team. I mean, Payet was unbelievable.
Are you so good?
But Nick, you must give him credit, and lots of it, for winning the conference.
I tell you what, I give him credit for getting us into the Conference League the year before, finishing 7th. I mean, again, we dropped off a lot in the second half of the season, but winning that conference, honestly, like Villa should win that. But every Premier League team should win that trophy. The standard of the Premier League is so much higher than every other league in Europe.
Okay.
Look at West Ham's squad last year. We played Fiorentina in the final. They had Amrabat. He was their best player. He looks like a clown at United.
What?
You know what I mean?
We were getting on so well, Nick. Give me a name of the manager realistically West Ham can attract.
See, I'd take Potter all day long.
That's the one. That's the one.
Gary O'Neill's doing. I mean, would he leave? He would. I don't know, but
no,
he's doing a great job at Wolves.
What's Steve Cooper?
For West Ham. Well, you'd have to look at him every week. That's the problem. But yeah, difficult. He hasn't. What? No. But I'd have him over Moyes.
Okay, all right. Let's take one more call. Matt is a West Ham fan. Hello, Matt. How are you?
I'm very well, sir. Gentlemen, great show as always.
Thank you, Matt.
I just want to say to the West Ham fans who are not happy with the way the club's being run and with the manager's appointment, all you got to do, get yourself enough money, boys. Buy the club yourself like the 2 other West Ham fans did, and then you can manage it your way. It's as simple as that. We've got our first trophy in 40-odd years. We're just under. We're almost midway at the table, and we've got about 15 games left. Yeah, it's not the greatest football. I was one of the people who walked out the other week. It was bloody disgraceful. But we're still doing all right. I don't know why it's always doom and gloom around Moyes. That does not help the situation. Let's judge him at the end of the season, not mid-season. If we sack him now, we're never going to win the Europa League, ever.
Okay, Matt,
Probably win anyway because Liverpool's there.
Yeah, that's right. It's a very good point.
talkSPORT Drive. Super opinionated sporting debate. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.